Can you sit there,
He
please?
had to struggle with adultery in his heart. He had to struggle with hatred towards others. He had to struggle with greed. He had to struggle with covetousness. He had to struggle with malice. He had to struggle with all the things we have to struggle with. All the things that we are tempted with. Yet he was without sin.
Can you say hi to the camera, Mary?
How can we remedy
No.
our lives?
You don't want to sit here?
Our culture tells us that we are to live wickedly to get the things that we want.
Can we just let Mommy preach the
The
gospel
Bible
for a little
says,
bit?
save yourselves from this
And then we
corrupt
can go?
generation.
Okay.
We can look around today and see all the sins that were mentioned in the book of Matthew. All the sins that were mentioned in the book of Mark prevalent in our society. Lust, adultery, murder, greed, covetousness, lust, hatred towards others, malice. All these things that grieve the heart of God. And I've only mentioned just a few of the sins. We all know that we have fallen short of God's glory in our hearts.
Not right now,
but we have
sweetheart.
each been given a conscience. Romans 1:20 says, for those who do not believe that there is a God, it says,
Do you want that, Mary?
we are without excuse. Because since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, His eternal nature, have been clearly seen from what has been made. So that we are without excuse. Why are we without excuse? Because we can look around and we can see the things that God has made. We can see each other as creatures of God. We can see the trees, the clouds, and the birds. Not just all these man-made things, not just all these cars and buildings. Yeah, they're great, works of men, but they will not last. In the Bible, in the New Testament, it says the earth will be destroyed with fire. If the earth is destroyed with fire, none of these things will remain except for those things which are eternal. And if we do not accept Christ as Lord and Savior, as Lord, as the one who tells us what to do in this life, as Savior, as the only one who can redeem us from eternal hellfire to come, and from the struggles of this life that come as a result of living in sin. Matthew 5 gives us a pretty clear picture of what it means to live and walk by the law of Jesus Christ and God our Savior. Starting with Matthew 5:3, Jesus says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God. Who are the poor in spirit? Not these big shots we see as CEOs, one driving around in a Lexus and a Mercedes, not to judge and condemn those who do. But are we poor in spirit? Do we see ourselves as humble creatures before God? Do we come before God with fear and trembling and say, yes, I'm a sinner. God have mercy on me, a sinner. Like the man who beat his chest in the New Testament. He wasn't like the popular church followers who like to be seen and heard by men. He wasn't saying, I give a tithe every week. And I drive my Lexus and my Mercedes up to the church door. And I greet all the people in church with a smile. But yet I live far from the law of God. I have sin and iniquity in my heart all the day. My thoughts are not towards God. It says in Proverbs, as a man thinketh, so is he in his heart. What do your thoughts revolve around every day? Jesus says, in the book of Matthew, he says, where your treasure is,
you like that,
there your
Mary?
heart will be also. What is your life revolving around today? Is your life revolving around money, sex, adultery, murder, hatred, lust? What is your life revolving around today? Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. What does it mean to be poor in spirit? Well, a lot of times it means to be poor naturally. I come from a pretty well-to-do middle-class family, so I'm not really aware of what it means to grow up poor. But I have experienced financial struggles, and I can tell you, it humbles you before a holy God to have nothing
Thank you, sir.
What's your name?
Who are the meek? The meek
Mary.
Mary? That's a pretty name.
quiet,
Maria.
the gentle, the non-abrasive. There are those who come before God with a humble heart, with a broken heart because of their sins. And they say, Lord Jesus, have mercy on me, a sinner. Blessed are the meek. Do you ever find yourself in a conversation with someone who just has to win over the entire conversation? They have to win over, they have to control the entire conversation, and they just talk all the time without coming up for breath. I don't believe that those people can be considered meek, because a meek person knows how to be quiet before God, and they know how to listen before God. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they will be filled. Are you hungry for your next meal? Yes, we all naturally are. That's a natural thing God has given us to enjoy as food. But are you hungry for the things of God? Are you hungry for the knowledge of God? Are you hungry to know God through His Son, Jesus Christ? Are you hungry after the things of the world?
We are Pentecostals.
After love? Are you hungry
Yeah,
after
we're
the things that grieve God's
we have
heart?
some friends and us. We do a Bible study,
Hungry after
and on Sunday nights.
murder and
Sunday
after
night.
getting back
It's
gossip,
it's down that way.
all these
I usually, if people are interested, I'll just give them the address and the time when we meet. But that's not very far from here.
Are you a preacher?
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of getting my credentials with Assemblies of God right now. But right now we're just independent.
And thieves cannot break in and steal. The way your treasure is, there your heart will be. If your treasure is in Jesus and relationship, and in your loved ones, and in the good things that God has put on this earth, the things that are eternal that will last, you shall have great treasure in heaven. And who knows very well now, most of you, that you have treasure now here on earth. Treasure that is tangible, treasure that is eternal. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. It's really easy in this day and age
What you know
to show
about
judgment
this
upon
religion?
people.
It's not
But a good expression
Scientology.
that
What you
comes
know
from
about
our
that?
culture is, you can't
My brother-in-law was recently doing a study on that. He's a preacher.
he says if somebody
Scientology is a kind of an alien religion of some sort, where
What you call it?
they believe in UFOs and aliens or something, and
we're not merciful in our
psychic
hearts
things
towards
like that.
others,
Oh, really?
we will not be willing
It's
to give
pretty
to
weird.
those who have
There's a
none.
guy named L. Ron Hubbard, I think,
Surely we have
and
all
he
above another in the kingdom
I
of
think he
God.
made the religion up. He was a science fiction author, but he also believed in various psychic stuff, like with your mind and trying to expand your mind. I think it also has to do with being happy. So all about keeping a really happy attitude and stuff. And I think it also, people who have joined that church have had some pretty hard difficulties leaving it, because sometimes people within that religion will try to, cause people problems if they leave that religion. So that's all I know about it. I mean, that was probably totally butchered their beliefs, but that's what I believe. I think that's what Scientology believes in. It's a kind of like a happy, positive mentality, but they believe that there's aliens and we're all evolving or something like that.
Blessed are those who use filthy language.
Somebody was telling about that.
Devious in their ways.
About that religion.
Jesus says,
Somebody was out here with the Scientology.
A friend of mine, he was
Oh,
I think
okay.
I saw a church, on Fox News.
Okay.
The Scientology church.
Yeah.
But then a friend from back home from Dominican Republic, he told me that he joined that religion.
Yeah.
That's not considered religion. That's considered what, a sect?
Maybe a cult.
A cult.
A cult would be probably the technical term. Yeah.
For a holy God, there is no wickedness in him.
I'm not a fan. Yeah, she's not a fan either. She thinks
She's
it's
not
funny.
a fan either, right? Right, Maria?
Mary, do you think Scientology is funny? No, it's not funny, is it?
What was your name again?
My name's John Boruff.
John Francisco.
Good to meet you.
That's Yossi.
Okay, good to meet you.
Yeah. We just walk around here, enjoying the weather.
Yes, sir.
Boruff?
Boruff. Yeah, I feel like I'm looking into becoming a youth pastor with Assemblies of God. And I'm going to be talking with a superintendent. He's kind of like a bishop figure in Assemblies of God, which is a Pentecostal denomination. And he's going to try to see about guiding me through the credentialing process of me becoming a credentialed preacher in that denomination. So I feel like, we've been doing a home Bible study thing with friends for a while, and now we feel like the Lord has just been guiding us towards youth pastoring.
So what do you think about Jehovah Witness?
Oh, Jehovah Witness. As far as I understand about that religion, is that religion started in the 1800s, and a guy said that God told him that the world was going to end in 1890 something, and Jesus was going to come back, and then he didn't come back, and so then he apologized, and then he said, well, Jesus came back, but he just came back in the spirit world. He didn't come back really as I was thinking. So he covered that up, and he also said weird things like let's see. Oh yeah, they don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. They just believe that he was like sent from God or something. So that's kind of different. I would put that kind of in a cult category as well.
A cult host?
Yeah, I would probably put that in a cult. Well, definitely, actually, yes. With all due respect to Jehovah's Witnesses, I mean, I don't try to be disrespectful to anybody's religion, but yeah, I would definitely put that into a cult category. They've also had a lot of problems with people, like, when they join their religion, if people want to leave it, then, they won't let them leave.
They won't let them leave?
Yeah, or they will, but again, it's kind of like the Scientology issue.
Oh, it's almost the same thing like Scientology.
Yeah, and Mormons are almost like that too. It's several of these religions that you would call cults are, if you look it up on the internet,
they're very
controlling.
Controlling.
Yeah, and like if you look up on the internet the word cult, there are certain religions that'll come up, like Mormons, Jehovah Witnesses, Scientology, Unification Church, and various other strange religions.
Is Catholic considered a cult?
No. Catholic's not considered a cult. But there's a book on that issue.